All right, welcome to another episode of the Manpower Great Lakes Direct-Hire Team Market Manager Focus. I am Andy, and I am based in the Milwaukee area, and also joined by Megan. And where are you located at?
I'm right outside of the Milwaukee area as well, in Racine.
And we are also joined by Nicki. Where are you located at?
In Michigan, so Great Lakes.
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes proud.
Yeah, in the Metro Detroit area.
Absolutely. So we've got all of that covered. And today we are joined by Lisa Egbert from the Rice Lake, Wisconsin market. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime we get a chance to do this, it's great to connect, and it's great to really find out about your history in the industry, what you focus on. But first of all, I want to focus a little bit on your story. How did you, start out with Manpower, and how long have you been with Manpower?
Well, I've been with Manpower for 11 years now. Actually kind of backed into Manpower. I had moved back to Wisconsin. My dad's health had declined, and so was looking to reinvent myself here. Went to school and interviewed as in a mock interview, and the former manager interviewed me for this position, and I was thinking it was just kind of pretend, and she really offered me a job, and I said sure, and so yeah, here I am. After
cool.
all that time.
Yeah, that is cool.
I really love that story too, because obviously you're working in the branch and working with candidates. I mean, that really sounds like kind of the start to a lot of the stories of candidates that maybe you're working with as well.
I think we all tend to kind of put ourselves in a box in what we're capable of doing based on our prior work history and that type of thing. And so that's what I really encourage the recruiters to try to do with associates, is get them out of that box and let them know that there's so much more opportunity than what they had imagined. That was certainly true in my case, and has been for many of our associates and our recruiters as well.
Absolutely. And with that, then, what are some of the skill sets that you really focus on?
A lot of welding and machine operation in this area for sure. But it really runs the gamut. And what we try to do is just have a good bead on what our clients' needs are, which is ever changing, right? And then also the associates that are coming into us that we're sourcing, what's kind of trending, right? So there is no one set focus that we have. It really is just being responsive and reactive to the needs in the market.
Absolutely. When you talk about market, what is your market? What are some of the cities that really encompass that market?
We're very rural in Northwest Wisconsin, so no large city center. Rice Lake is one of our largest cities, but our territory is so vast. It truly is most of Northwest Wisconsin. So Osceola, Turtle Lake, Clear Lake, Cumberland, all of those areas. So it's nothing for us to drive an hour and a half to see a client. In fact, on Thursday, I'll be going to Osceola. That's about well over an hour for me. That's why it's been so beneficial as we've kind of moved post-COVID, and all of the remote capabilities that we have now has really helped us branch out. And so I focus a lot further out into the depth of my territory than I had once done.
That's important. I mean, when you look at, just really trying to meet the need of, the market, but meet the need of the candidates, we do that obviously with direct hire candidates in Great Lakes area. But when you talk about your successes, I mean, what are some of the areas in positions maybe that you found success with in 2023 that's maybe going to springboard you into 2024?
Well, one of our major wins in 2023 was a client that I had actually worked with as a recruiter years ago that came back to us and wanted to work with us. And they make large steel beams. And for commercial industry, they worked on the Vikings, the new Vikings, center there. and all sorts of different things like that. So they needed welders and machine operators, and they wanted to just gradually grow, which is great for us in a small market because we can just send them as they come. And we've really been able to build that business. They're very pleased with the amount and the quality of candidate that we've been able to send them. So that was our big win. So I would say welding and machine operation have been huge in 2023. They're still growing in 2024, as well as quite a few other clients in the area that are also doing machine operation. Food production has kind of slowed actually in the area.
Wow.
And so we've really focused on other industries.
That's awesome. And I know you mentioned a lot too about kind of being able to send those candidates as they gradually come in, being in more of a remote area. I'm sure that the branch is a great resource for candidates because it is so remote. They don't know kind of how to find a job when they're looking. So what can a candidate bring in to the branch when they're walking in to talk to one of the recruiters to be prepared?
I would say the most important thing is an open mind.
Oh, nice.
So, right, they come in, they have their certain skills. Maybe they've done CNA work and they think that they have to stay in the medical field, but they don't understand that as a CNA, you do quite a bit of lifting, you do customer service, all of those types of things. And then just kind of opening up the opportunities that maybe they haven't considered, didn't know were out there, or maybe they see these ads, but they think, no, I couldn't do that. So in some ways, we're very much job coaches and expanding their opportunities and what they see as possible, and go from there. And then, absolutely, as far as locale goes, you're not going to be driving an hour to see if a plant is hiring. You come to Manpower, we work with 30 plus different clients at any one given time, and you apply once to us, but in a sense, you're applying to all those different employers. We know the ins and outs of each of them, so we get to know our associates, what their preferences are, what their interests are, and we really try to match the job to the candidate for long-term success. And some of our candidates come in thinking, asking for $13 an hour and leave making 20.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yes. So you can really be that advocate for them.
Yes,
and
very much.
Also, like you said, kind of a job coach when they're thinking they have to kind of be siloed into one thing. But I'm sure you also have people that come in like, hey, I have absolutely no idea what I want to do. And so since the recruiters are so great at being kind of those coaches, how do they help candidates that aren't really sure what they want to do in that next career move?
Right. Sometimes it's a matter of not necessarily looking at work history, but of interests. Do they like to work outside? Do they like to keep busy? Do they like to work independently? And once we kind of nail those preferences, we can really fit them to the opportunities that we have available. And then recruiters are sales people just as much as I am looking for new business. They're selling our clients to those associates and helping them find the right fit. And that's a service we provide to our clients because clients aren't in the room with us. So if we're not advocating on their behalf on why their company is the best company and the best fit for our associates, then, they're missing out. And so that's,
Totally.
Definitely a tool when it comes to sales is, hey, you want to be in these rooms with the recruiter. You want your recruiter to know all of the great things about this company and not miss out on these excellent associates as they're coming in the door. Because in a rural area, it's not a limitless supply of candidates. So,
Absolutely. That's great because it is like selling the opportunity on both ends. I always tell candidates, like, it has to be a good fit for you too. We're not just trying to kind of make you fit in this perfect box for this client. Like, it also has to be a good fit on the other way around. So that's really great and a great thing for candidates that maybe aren't used to that approach to see happening in real time.
And the trust level, right?
Yes.
Like gaining an associate's trust and knowing that their recruiter is looking out for them and is going to make the best fit, whether it is the where their necessarily quota is or focus is. We might need 10 at one industry and one associate at another industry, but if they're a perfect fit for the one that has the one opening, then that's where we're going to put them. And once our associates learn that and gain that trust, then that's where we get the reactivations. We get the associate that comes in that remembers me as a recruiter, 8 years ago. Hey, you found me a job. I've been there 6 years, but now there's been a layoff. And so I'm coming right to you. We want to be that stop even before, when they find themselves without a job, we want their first thought, regardless of how long it's been since they were last with Manpower, to be Manpower. And hey, I don't have to go put my foot to pavement. I'm just going to go to Manpower and find out about all the opportunities in the area and let them guide me on what's the best fit.
Totally. Yeah, that's amazing. Again, especially anywhere, but especially in a rural area where you're having to do a lot of that work on the back end as a candidate versus just coming to Manpower and having people that know what to do it best. So with that being said, if there's a candidate that comes in who is looking for something and maybe there isn't something readily available right now, how do the recruiters kind of utilize that candidate's skills and help kind of put them out there in the market without having a physical job right now?
Right. So there's a couple of options. We have a wonderful MyPath program that can help, refine their skills. But if they come in with a skill set that is in demand, but there isn't an opening, that's where our connections with our clients become so important. In a rural market, sometimes clients will think outside the box when it comes to a skilled candidate and hire up a position before they have a vacancy. Happens all the time. If we have an in-demand candidate and no opening, that's exactly when we leverage our partners and say, hey, you don't want to miss out on this candidate. What can we do? Sometimes we have a short-term opportunity that we can place them in and say, hey, this other client is likely going to have a need in a month. Let's put you in the short-term project and then move you to this great opportunity when it becomes available. So I think the moral of the story in a rural market is just thinking outside of the box, taking each case, each associate, and doing our very best for them, whether it be an immediate placement, positioning them for a future placement, or working with our partners to get them an opportunity that wasn't otherwise available.
Totally. And again, another great resource of going to Manpower, because when you're looking on the job boards and there's just nothing out there that looks like it's for you, that can be, I know, very just disheartening. And I think being able to go through Manpower and have the door opened for you a little bit before it's even open is really great. And again, kind of shows the connection that you have with your clients and the trust that's there to be hey, we have this great candidate, and they know to think of this candidate because they have had great success working with Manpower for one of those opportunities that isn't necessarily open yet.
Right.
So that's an amazing resource for the candidates to have.
Yes, and also, just getting the word out that looking in the paper is not sufficient. Right. There is so many opportunities that our clients never advertise for because they rely on us exclusively to get them candidates. So it's not only about access to opportunities that you're aware of as an associate, but coming to Manpower to learn about all of the positions that you were unaware of, that you didn't even realize was an opportunity for you to consider. That is the value that we add in terms of associates coming to visit with us.
Totally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You mentioned some of your successes, but what kind of roles are you seeing in the market?
Well, I've mentioned the welding for sure. Maintenance technicians come in. There's always multiple opportunities for them. We also have our skilled technical program. So if clients come to us with that maintenance technician needs, we're always making those connections. But truly, if a maintenance technician were to walk into our office, they likely would have 3 options on their way out the door.
For sure.
CNC setup, huge in this market. But entry level is just really the sky's the limit. We have some entry-level positions that are $20+ per hour. We'll have associates coming in that are making $12 an hour. And like I said, leave with 20. That's life-changing.
Totally.
That
Yes.
means that you can work towards a brighter future for yourself and your family in combination with the education that can be provided through Manpower. The sky's really the limit. And what we hope for every time an associate comes in, when they leave, their options and their outlook has expanded based on just that short time that they've been with us. Really
Absolutely.
life-changing what we do. I'm so passionate about it.
Absolutely. It shows importance coming in and meeting with us. What are the strengths of meeting with clients directly? The benefits of working with Manpower and over another company.
One word, truly partnership. That's how we look at things. It's not transactional what we do. We build partnerships. We have clients that have been with us for 25 years since this Manpower office opened.
Nice.
We build that history. We want to be an extension of their HR. It's not simply you have a need, we have a candidate for that need. It's about the path from the need all the way to fulfillment and beyond, to develop those associates into new roles, and just support the client with, ramps. Anything that comes, they know that we're going to be part of the solution for them. And that's so key. I tell new prospective clients all the time that we don't want to be forced to be in a transactional type relationship. There's only a limited amount of candidates in the area. And so we want to make sure that we're partnering with our clients and making the most of every single one of them. And that's so rewarding, building those relationships. And they last, they're proven to last through time.
Yes, I agree. I like to use the word partnership more than transactional a lot when it comes to Manpower, because that really is the root of us. That's what we truly believe in here. So I'm glad you pointed that out. What are some of the targets you have for 2024?
Well, that really runs the whole range of our territory. Later today, I'm going to Hayward. That's about an hour and a half from here, to speak with a company called Lignetics, and they make wood pellets. So just the goal for 2024 is just to expand our reach into some of these remote areas that perhaps we haven't worked with in the past. But as far as companies that we're targeting, it truly does run the range. As a chamber ambassador, I learn a lot about the new companies that come to the area, and being on the chamber board also helps me pinpoint those companies that have either needs now or future needs to really address them. Osceola is another area where I'm really focusing this year. We service a company called Polaris, and there's quite a few other companies in that area. So just hoping to expand, lots of competition in that area, but hoping to expand into that target area as well.
That's good.
Lisa, I really love, obviously you've been there a long time, and that really shows, obviously, that Manpower name makes a difference, to candidates, but when they know that, their, workers have been there, leaders have been there for a long time, I think that's important too. And obviously, you being embedded in the Chamber of Commerce there, it helps as well, I bet.
Yeah, it's just huge to have tenure. Aaron in my office has been here longer than I have. So he has been there almost 12 years now.
Wow.
10 as a recruiter. Tristan in our office has been here going on 4 years. And clients and potential clients always reference that. It matters. It matters because we can show that we can retain our staff, and we treat them well. It also helps when it comes to pricing. because they understand that we're building careers with our recruiters so that they can expect a higher caliber of partner than those that are constantly churning because they're not paying a living wage to their recruiters and they're not developing recruiter skills over time. Of course, we all have turnover, that's to be expected, but when we can sell that tenure, it's certainly helpful.
You know, I also love that you brought up looking in the newspaper for jobs. I try to, explain that to my kids, and, they have no idea, some of the things that you had to look at. And yeah, so everything kind of, a lot of things are online now. But what I really like that you're talking about and what you're constantly doing is going out to those companies because, obviously, in the digital age, it's important to connect, in various ways, but, actually meeting people where they're at. I mean, that really goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And you can't knock in a client lunch.
Right.
Them and they come,
like
right?
to get food. Yes, absolutely.
I do a lot of lunches with clients because it's a great way to kind of set them at ease, get them talking more. You find out all sorts of opportunities as time goes on there, for sure.
Totally. And two, I think it's really important anywhere, but especially when you're in a remote area, like, what you're talking about, how far the commute is, like what the area actually looks like. And I think that's really important for us in the Great Lakes too, even if we're not physically in that city. Like, I've driven through Rice Lake hundreds of times. Like, I know, obviously even in Michigan, like I've been, Nicki lives there. She knows what she's talking about when she's talking to clients and candidates. So that's probably so huge for your clients and candidates alike, that it's not just this random email they're getting from some lady in like Seattle, Washington that has no idea what this area looks like. And I think that's one of the great things about having the physical Manpower branches and then us in the Great Lakes supporting candidates and clients is like, hey, I live right down the road. I know that the commute can be kind of tricky. So how do you actually feel about that? Like, is that sustainable for your everyday? And I just feel like that's a really big piece of the connection that we have at Manpower versus like some of the staffing companies that are working positions all over the US and don't really have that like true understanding of, would this be good for your work-life balance or would this make your life harder in the end of the day?
Absolutely. And what I love is over the years how we've been able to expand with teaming up with permanent recruiters for those direct hire roles, the VRG, all of those things. So even though we are a smaller office with just 2 recruiters, when need be, we can respond and have a much larger reach based on all of the things that we have expanded and developed as we've went on with Manpower. So I think that's also very huge, and we love partnering with all of you when it comes to those specialized roles.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask.
Yes, we love it too.
So, I'm not sure, how many opportunities that you have for relocation to your area. But, there may be, some that are wondering, well, what would be the benefits of moving to Rice Lake or, or rural Wisconsin? So what do you usually say to, people who, maybe are thinking about, relocating for a job to your area?
Yeah, I think the sense of community here is amazing, and all of the outdoor activities, so many lakes and opportunities for camping and hiking and all of those things. That work-life balance here, I think, is easier to achieve than a lot of different places. You don't have to travel far to have all sorts of different recreational opportunities at your doorstep. And a lot of people, it's the way of life that they're seeking when they come to this area. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
I would agree. Yeah. Well, I definitely, we appreciate you, taking your time with us. And, as we kind of get finished, where can everyone find you, if they want to connect?
By email, LinkedIn, call the office here. There's so many different ways to find me and my office. We have the Manpower website for associates looking for work. We always have postings on Indeed. Really, the sky's the limit.
Perfect. Looking forward to it, and hopefully everyone does connect with you in the area, and looking forward to partnering with you as well. Once again, I appreciate your time, and this has been the Manpower Great Lakes Direct-Hire Team Market Manager Focus with Lisa Egbert from the Rice Lake, Wisconsin market. Thanks again, Lisa.
Thank you.
Lisa.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa.
You bet.